Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Listen, we have a very interesting breakdown that we are doing. If you are not familiar with this case involving the wedding brawl, right? The wedding brawl, the brawl that these people had with the police, and a lot of people went to jail behind it. You guys, but this is not just a simple case, right? This is a very interesting case because a lot of people are talking about it, and not because there's a bunch of people fighting the police. They were white people fighting the police. And for whatever reason, black people are surprised, they're shocked. Some are celebrating this altercation. Some people are talking about the racism in this altercation. Some people are saying there's white privilege involved in this. And I am here, as you guys know, on my channel. I'm here to debunk a lot of the lies, the myths, and propaganda that is pervasive through social media and through the Black community. As it relates to police encounters, you guys, those who are not familiar, I'm a 13-year law enforcement veteran, and I discuss and break down these controversial topics that take place nationwide, but more so, especially those focusing on law enforcement, bringing context, right, to these conversations that's grossly lacking as it relates to people getting on the camera and just talking and spewing a bunch of foolishness. I am going to bring some truth and transparency. What really attracted me to this, I had a subscriber send me this video and I was like super fascinated. There's a racial component, right? And we all know, right, this thing that goes on that we say in the Black community that this does not happen to white people, right? And if these were Black people, it wouldn't have happened this way. Oh, look how nice the police are. They put handcuffs on them. Nobody got shot. If they were Black, they would have been shot. You guys, that's a lie. That's a lie. And it's so sad that the media has done such a job on the minds of the Black community and the people of this country. The media has been single-handedly psychologically destroying the fabric of this country, using race, using police, right, as a way to create more division. So again, I spend a lot of times pushing back on the propaganda. You guys, listen, oftentimes I debate people on this channel who challenge me on the idea that white people do not experience or have the same outcome. And they'll ask me things like, show me a white Tamir Rice, right? Show me a kid who's white who was shot by the police because he had a toy gun, a BB gun. Show me a white Breonna Taylor. Show me a white Philando Castile. Show me a white George Floyd. You guys, and then I show you, and then I show you more. Show me a white person who was shot in the back by the police. I show you that, right? Show me this, show me that. Show me a white person who was a mass shooter where the police just shot them dead and didn't ask him any questions. I'll show you that. Show me a Black mass shooter who was taken in custody without incident and lived to tell about it. I show you that. You guys, the sad thing about it is too many of us like to challenge the truth when we see it because it goes against the narrative that we were conditioned in. And so I get a lot of pushback. I get a lot of pushback, you guys. And so I'm going to break down this video. I'm going to show you the why the officers used the force that they used, and is this force justified? Right? A lady got knocked out. Another lady got punched in the face. It was a brawl. It was absolutely a brawl. But I'm going to give you some context to it. And again, we can cover the racial part as well. So in reality, you guys, I keep a folder called White People Too because I'm always met with confrontation when it comes to discussing these issues. And granted, it's a sensitive topic to a lot of people. It's the deprogramming of a lot of people, and they don't like it. You guys, they don't like it. So I keep a folder called White People Too, and in that folder, I keep evidence to show that these things happen, right? And again, some people are like, "Wow, I didn't know this was a thing," and some people are like, "Ah, well, it doesn't happen enough to white people." And what I've seen, this sickness that is pervasive within the Black community, is that now we are celebrating people being assaulted by the police because they're white. It's almost like, haha, now you know what it feels like. You guys, the maturity and the lack of maturity that I see in a lot of these comment sections is very disturbing. The racism that I see coming from Black people is very disturbing. And it just goes to highlight how bad this situation is in this country as it relates to race. That we are celebrating the pain or the assault of another group of people simply because their skin color is different. you know, because people are filming these altercations that white people are in with the police, we're starting to see it. The problem is the media doesn't promote it. So then there's this idea that it doesn't happen to white people. And you guys, that is so far from the truth. They can be just as disobedient, they can be just as rude, disrespectful, violent, just as violent as anybody else. You know, they get shot by the police, they get arrested, thrown around by the police. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. And so the whole purpose is to really combat that narrative, and then show you the truth. The wedding party group, I think it's maybe about 12 of them. They're drunk. One of the guys, they're trying to get access to the restaurant. From my understanding, one of the guys gets into it, an altercation, verbal altercation with one of the employees or staff inside the restaurant. They're asked to leave, and they wouldn't let them back in. The police are called, and then you see this altercation between the police and then this group. Apparently, from where the video starts, the officer seems like they're detaining a woman and a man or something to that effect. Well, no one wants to cooperate, right? You know what I say on my channel, comply to survive, right? If you're in the wrong, the police give you a lawful command, you need to follow it. What you see is a group of people who decide they want to do what they want to do, and they're not going to comply with the commands. And when you don't comply with lawful commands and the officers are telling you you're under arrest, you are going to jail by any means necessary. Whatever force you exert on the officer, there will be a force greater than that that is then going to be enforced on you in order to detain you properly, right? So all forces created equal, you guys, when you're not cooperating. So, and that's what we're going to see in this video. So here's the clip that went viral. Everybody's sharing. I'm going to play it, and then we'll break it down.
Hey, name your badge number. Name your badge number. Name your badge number. Name your badge number. Hey, name your badge number. Name your badge number.
Oh my God. Yo, Coops. Coops, get over here, bro. Oh my God. Kobe, get back. Kobe. Oh my God, you just fucking knocked her out, bro. You just fucking knocked her out, bro. You just knocked her out. Dude, her head just hit the pavement. Her head just hit the pavement, bro.
All right. So that's the original video that was posted that has gotten everybody like, oh my God, this is crazy. The officers use too much force. What's going on? Let's break it down, right? Let's break it down and see what all happened. I'm gonna mute it. What we have here, of course, in this corner, you guys, in the right corner, you have the officer trying to detain someone and make an arrest. I don't know if it's the female or the male. There's two people over there, from my understanding. Well, here's the dangers of this job, you guys. When we're trying to make arrests, when it's a large crowd and they're all relatives, related, they tend to get involved. They try to pull you off. They are in the way. This creates a safety issue for the officers. These officers don't know if these people have weapons. They don't know what their level of commitment is going to be to see that, make sure that their friends don't go to jail. There's dangers all over. And when the danger is heightened around an officer, the use of force tends to go up, right? Because then you have to gain control and compliance a lot faster than you would if it was a one-on-one encounter. I've been in several situations like this where my use of force was a lot more, I say I was a little bit more excessive than I normally would have been, simply because you have to gain compliance a lot faster. I've had to fight friends that were together who were trying to defend a suspect from getting arrested. I've had to fight parents, you guys, while arresting their child. So yes, this thing can be serious. I mean, a lot can unfold. So in this situation, we have people not cooperating and they're in a group, and as officers, you're somewhat outnumbered. Yeah, you're going to use a little bit more. There's going to be a little bit more thump behind that punch or behind the takedown. All right. So what do we see? You see them going ahead. The officer's back here. He's pushing. He pushed this woman off because she's too close. And again, he's already saying, hey, back up, you guys. People are getting too close, making the officer uncomfortable. That is appropriate. That's appropriate. You're too close. And common sense will tell you, you guys, you're too close while the officer's executing his job. You're going to get pushed. You're way too close. If you I always say my rule of thumb is if you're close enough for me to touch you, you're too close to me. All right. So that's a rule of thumb for you guys. When you can film from a distance. I'll tell people you're too close. You can film right there and zoom in. But if you get close enough to where you can put your hands on me and I can put my hands on you, you're way too close. And so this is what we see here. He tells her to back up. He's pushing her out the way. Okay. All right. He pushes him away. And here you go. This right here, you see this lady, the knee is cocked. She's about to do a front kick. And martial arts call this a front kick. She is about to kick this man in the groin. All right. So you see her winding it up. And she's going to kick him in the groin. That's an assault. Now, this is his immediate reaction. He punches her in the face. Some people are going to say, is that excessive? Nah. No. Here's the thing, you guys. A lot of people look, well, it's a woman. It doesn't matter. All right, I'm just going to be honest with you. It doesn't matter. The law does not separate the fact that she's a woman and these people are men. The law looks at the action and the behavior. The behavior is you assaulted an officer. The officer gave you a legal command to back up. You got too close. He did. He pushed you back. Because as you see in this right corner, you have another person. You have two officers. You have a person on the ground. And then you have a white male and a white female. They're on the ground. The officer looks like they're trying to make an arrest or something. And you have people interfering. The officer telling you back up for their safety. And then you kick the officer in the groin. That action alone, you're going to jail, period. You're going to jail. That's an assault. That's a battery on an officer. The officer punches her in the face. I think it's appropriate reaction. But then now this creates a chain reaction, right? What's the chain reaction? Okay, apparently that's somebody's wife. Okay. Well, when the video's playing, the gentleman's like, that's why you hit my wife. You hit my wife. Now listen, that's his wife. I understand. Both of you guys can go to jail together, right? As a man, I understand you want to protect your wife. The way you protect your wife as a husband is to put her in a position to where she's not assaulting anybody. I say it all the time on this channel, you can't protect people who don't listen. If I'm the husband, you're the wife, and I'm like, you need to stand back, stand behind me, you need to get over here, and you decide to do what you want to do, consequences come behind those actions. And this is what we see here. His wife kicked the officer in the groin. The officer punched her in the face. And now the husband's mad. I get it, rightfully so. Now he goes on an attack against the officer. I get it. So let's see it. Right? He pushes the officer away to get to the officer who punched his wife. And then boom, he throws a haymaker at the officer. The officer drops to the ground. Hits him again. And as you see there on the ground, he's wailing on the officer, you guys. Guess what? That's battery. That's felony obstruction. So you have his wife going to jail for felony obstruction and battery on an officer. The husband is going to. All right. What else do we have? They get them off. What does the wife do again? She hasn't learned. You guys, you may have missed this. She then kicks him in the groin again while his legs are open on the ground. Boom. What do we call this lady? She's the nutcracker at this point. All right, the nutcracker. So she kicks him in the groin again. You guys, that's intentional. That's intentional. 2 counts. 2 counts. And what if I get up and I'm like, my testicle's damaged? You guys, that's aggravated battery. What if she damages his testicle? That's aggravated battery, you guys. You got to remember, aggravated assault is great bodily harm. If she renders his testicles useless, and I know it may sound funny to some people, but this is how the law works. It's no different if you punch me in my eye and I can't see out of that eye anymore, or you close it up to a point to where it's not useful. I can't use it, right? You break my arm, I can't use it. That's an aggravated charge. That's an aggravated charge. How a simple action from uncontrolled person, you can't control yourself, you're so angry. She kicked him in the groin twice. She's in bad shape. So now husband, wife, all right? Here we go. Everybody separated, and she kicks him again 3 times. 3 times. 3 times. Okay? 3 times to the groin. This woman, the nutcracker. All right. Here we go. This is the moment of question a lot of people are talking about, where the husband who's being ushered away by 2 officers, there's another woman that's trailing behind one of the officers. And according to that officer, she was grabbing his gun. He turns around and punches her dead in the jaw, knocks her out cold. As you see, she hits the pavement. Her head hits the bricks. You guys see here, turns around, boom, drops her. You guys, that's justified. That's 100% justified. Are they going to say excessive force? Nope. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's the video. You know, we take it back from the beginning. Again, you see the officers here in the corner. There are 2 officers trying to detain a female over here on the right. Look like there's some resistance. The girl is on the ground. There's a guy over there as well. The 2 friends, you see the 3 right here, the nutcracker right here. They're all trying to interfere with the officer making the arrest. That's obstruction. The officer's telling them to get back, and he's pushing them back. He has a right to do that. He pushes the lady in the orange. She's like, nah, I can do what I want to do. He's like, man, don't push my wife, man, get back. Ma'am, ooh, what in the groin, man, get over here. And then next you know, you have the brawl. You have the brawl. And this man is determined to go over there, and he socks the officer in the face. I don't know all the details, but it looks like there were women that they're trying to detain or push away. The men didn't like the way the officers were handling the women. That's understandable. But the way they decided to handle it, ultimately, everybody ended up getting locked up. So what are my thoughts? My thoughts are comply to survive, right? Comply to survive. There's a better way to deal with it. You're not going to win fighting the officers on the street. You're just not. You know, if the officers did something wrong or they were exercising the law unethically, you have to call for a supervisor and you got to take it up in court. Fighting the police, it just doesn't end well. It rarely ends well. You fight in a courtroom, you guys. So what you saw right here is definitely not acceptable. Of course, some people are gonna be like, oh, well, the officers didn't shoot them. Do you guys know how many police encounters take place where citizens are fighting officers and the citizen does not get shot? That goes for white people, black people, Asian and Hispanic. Again, the media will have you believe that this does not happen, that it's not possible. You guys, please take the time to do research. Stop falling for the games of the media and the propaganda of this country, or these racist, race baiting activists, black activists that come out here and sell black people this fantasy that we're out here being lynched every day by the police. It's not true, you guys. At the end of the day, there's bad cops, there's good cops, right? There are corrupt cops and there are honest cops. You know, it just is what it is. But I think, what was it, 2 years ago? Last the data I checked, 10 million people got arrested. Talking about 10 million people. And out of the 10 million people who got arrested, you guys, only 1,100 people died from a police encounter. One could argue that the police are not killing people like that. Our prisons are filled to the brim because people are safely being placed in handcuffs and transferred to the jail. And that's black, white, and everybody. So, you know, the data just doesn't add up. I'm actually going to do a reaction to a 15-year-old who shoots at the police, leads the police on a chase. And when they he did get shot, but when they finally found him, they were able to safely put him in custody, get him some help, get him healed up, and sent him on to jail. You guys, so again, I'm just trying to challenge you to stop falling for the lies and the disinformation put out by the media. Take your time, do the investigation, look into it. And if you have questions, reach out to me and I'll clarify some things. Anyways, let me know your thoughts, you guys, on this video. Did the officers use excessive force? Is this white privilege? Or are these officers that just executed their job and, you know, these thugs live to tell about it? Anyways, you guys, like, comment, share, subscribe. Good night. God bless.